говорим за топ новините през месеца и след това ще проведем една Q&A сесия с Линда, която е топ контрибютор в проекта DeGate, който, както може би вече знаете, е Orderbook базиран DEX. Така че давам думата на BoneX, спонсорите. Те предния път бяха доста кратки, но този път знам, че имат доста неща да споделят във връзка с тяхната leverage платформа. Така че давам думата на техния представител, който ще представи всичко най-интересно от тяхната екосистема. Заповядай.
Благодаря. Добър вечер на всички. Знам, че евента е на английски. Да. Добре. Знам, че евента е на английски, затова и презентацията ми днес ще бъде на английски. Да. Hello, my name is Jacqueline and I am part of the BoneX team. Tonight I will go over all the updates we have regarding both of our platforms, and I will begin with BoneX 1.0. We do a little updates every day on the platform just to clear it up and make it easier for our customers to see the different services we offer, but we do have an update on this platform. We offer a rent a jet service now. Next. Yes, rent a jet. We're letting, actually a private jet, yes. We are letting our customers have the chance to rent a private jet with their cryptocurrency funds. It's quite an easy process. Next. All you have to do is go to the BoneX platform, click on Rent a Jet, and then you select from and to where you would like to travel, the date and the time you would like to leave, and how many passengers. Then appears a little menu with all the available aircrafts that you can rent at this moment for the trip. After selecting an aircraft, the process is quite easy and everything is on the platform. Next. Okay, now I want to talk about our new platform, BoneX 2.0, our merger platform. I would like to begin with the fact that it's up and running, but it is in closed beta at the moment since we are doing a bit of last-moment testing before we release the product to our customers. I'm happy to share that the platform will actually have quite a few of the popular and most liked cryptocurrencies to trade, and it will be available very, very soon at the end of November. As you see right next to me, there's experience at 20% cashback. This is a new option we have on the platform, and we are the first in the world to actually offer it to our customers. It's called a BoneX 2.0 platform. We have a 20% cashback, but I will have more information on this later on in the month. Okay, here is a quick look at our interface. As you see, we have chosen quite a powerful and strong interface that is probably very familiar to most of the daily traders. It will be very easy to adapt to as well for new traders, and that is exactly why we chose it. Okay, here I would like to mention that on margin, our customers will be able to trade with up to times 100% leverage, which will be quite fun for a lot of experienced traders. And we actually recommend that new traders test it out as well, but with caution. Okay, this is another major update we have. With our BoneX 2.0 margin platform, we will have a mobile app, which is ready, but has not been released. It will be very soon. Once the platform goes live at the end of November, our app will as well. You will be able to download it from the Apple Store and the Google Play Store. It will be exactly like the website, so it will be very easy to navigate. And lastly, I want to thank you for your time, and if you want to check it out, you can go to www.bonex.net. Thank you.
Супер, много ти благодаря, Жаклин. Сега преминаваме към следващия спонсор. Maybe I should turn it into English. Are there any foreigners here apart from our guest? So I wonder if I should just turn it into English. На български. Айде, добре, на български тогава. Заповядай, Ели, на български. Да видим с NEXO какво се е случило през последния месец. Зареждам ти презентацията бързичко.
Здравейте, хора! Докато Влади зарежда презентациите, а те са много, сигурно ви е много интересно, много яки работи стават в индустрията. Fear and Greed индекса дере нагоре, няма да ти го взимам като новина, ти ще го разкажеш на хората. Няколко традиционно много кратки апдейта от нас. Какво сме правили? Правили сме продукти. Пуснахме лимит ордери, които решихме да кръстим Trigger Swap. Нямам идея как стигнахме до това решение, но ни се стори като доста добра творческа идея и хората много се кефят. Как работят лимит ордерите, сигурно много добре знаете, но може да си проджектнете определена цена и всичко е супер след това. Много изчерпателно обяснение от мен. Продуктите не са достъпни на територията на Република България, затова съм бърза. Пуснахме Low Interest Borrowing, което е също доста интересно, особено за макроекономическа среда, където не има хубаво на хората с лоша инфлация. Алго е супер, Алго също ни харесват, ние харесваме Алго, писахме си малко в Twitter, има ги листнати при нас. Направихме нещо всъщност супер яко, от което аз съм много горда. Преди година и нещо направихме в България един хакатон. И оттам се роди съответния стартъп MetaClones, който е компания, която инкубирахме. Помогнахме им, т.е. те ни изтраяха една година и им помогнахме малко с ноу-хау, малко с неща и ги акварнаха този месец. Ние сме супер хепи за тях. Те са много млади хора, тъй че аптоп за тях. Абсолютно. Правим подкаст. Може да го гледате в YouTube, за разлика от продуктите ни. Можете да гледате всъщност доста интересни хора от индустрията, с които си говорим за социално-икономическия импакт на крипто върху нашия ежедневен живот. Извинете тази тавтология. Здравей, Вейдър! Нюзджакваме постоянно Илон Мъск и медиите дори пишат за това, което е супер забавно. И това беше от мен. Абсолютно.
Благодарете на Ели от NEXO. Във връзка с MetaClones, всъщност, това тук е супер добър момент да кажа, че те ще бъдат гостите ни на следващия Meetup, който ще бъде ноември месец, последния за годината. Техният кофаундър ще бъде в България, иначе че е в Швейцария. И те ще бъдат нашите специални гости, ще си поговорим какво точно ще представлява MetaClones и кой ги е харесал и така нататък. Така че давам думата сега на Altcoins, представителя на Altcoins, да каже те какво правят, като доколкото си спомням, не е имало апдейт от тях от преди лятото. Така че предполагам, че доста неща.
Здравейте на всички. Ние също ще продължим на български. Аз съм единствения мъж след представителите явно. И така, аз съм Стоян и днес ще ви представя най-новото от нас, и не толкова новото. Ще започнем с кратка предистория. Altcoins.bg платформата е основана през 2017 година с една основна цел да създаде услуга на пазара, която до тогава не е съществувала и тази услуга именно е бързо, лесно и удобно прехвърляне, вход и изход от крипто към български лев. И това са нашите основни услуги. Първата услуга е точно това, обмяна на криптовалути. На нашия сайт разполагаме с най-голямото разнообразие за българският пазар, 42 криптовалути, които може да обменяте на нашия вебсайт. И също така едни от най-конкурентните цени. Също ако вие сте бизнес, искате да търгувате крипто като бизнес, Altcoins.bg е правилното място за вас, където ние разполагаме с голям набор от услуги за вашия бизнес. Също така на нашия вебсайт още може да откриете криптомагазин с тениски и оригинални хардуерни портфели, които могат да бъдат закупени с крипто. И не на последно място предлагаме криптоданъчна консултация и счетоводни услуги. Тук са някои от нашите също не толкова нови, но уникални функции, като първата е hodl функцията, която ви предоставя възможност да имате криптопортфолио, да поддържате криптопортфолио на нашия вебсайт с 42-те валути, които са там. Също така това ви гарантира сигурност и за хората, които не могат да боравят с портфейл. Вие много по-лесно може да търгувате там и 24 часа в денонощието много бързо може да ги продадете. Също така предлагаме и вътрешна обмяна за вашето криптопортфолио между валутите, които притежаваме, могат да се обменят вътре в нашия вебсайт. Също така ние сме първата българска платформа, която работи в цяла Европа. За интеграциите в Binance ще говоря малко по-късно. И сега някои от нашите по-нови функции, най-новите. OTC сделките. Както знаете, OTC сделките са основен инструмент на хората, които боравят с по-големи финанси. И за тях е много важно да имат сигурност и по-преференциални цени на сделките. Затова ние осигуряваме OTC сделки. OTC сделките се извършват за суми над $100 000 или техният еквивалент крипто и не преминават през обичайните спот услуги на борсата, а преминават през нашия специализиран OTC отдел. Затова, ако сред вас има хора, които искат да правят OTC търговия, могат да се обърнат към нас и да открият повече информация на нашия вебсайт. Също така, с Altcoins вече имате възможност да извършвате международни трансфери, които са бързи, лесни и удобни, за разлика от нормалните международни трансфери, които са бавни и трудни с много ограничения. И сега това е най-новото, с което се гордеем да представим. На нашия вебсайт вие вече може да имате свой собствен wallet, когато създадете акаунт, в който може да държите тези 20 криптовалути и вие директно може да получавате с вашият адрес плащания в крипто и всякакви други криптовалути. Тук ще представим нашето директно свързване с акаунта ви. След като Binance загубиха фиатния си партньор за еврови преводи, тегления, обмяна и на евро, както знаем, много неудобно за всички нас, защото не можем да си изтеглим пари в евро чрез SEPA преводите. Сега Altcoins е идеалният партньор, ние осигуряваме много бързо, много лесно, без да напускате Binance, да търгувате с нас и да обменяте и да правите европреводи. Също така, чрез нашето партньорство с Binance, ние имаме директна покупка и продажба на крипто през P2P пазара. И тук с този QR код сме сложили една сделка, която, ако сканирате кода, само с един бутон, като заплатите, може да случите сделката и да закупите крипто и да продадете също така. И SEPA преводите, да, както знаете, Altcoins премина изцяло към SEPA банкови преводи, защото те са бързи, лесни и много сигурни, най-надежните преводи в Европейския съюз. Също така имат фиксирана такса, не са на процент като много други места. Те имат фиксирана такса само от 1 лев между банките в България, в чужбина мисля, че е 1 евро. И може да изпращате сега, чрез SEPA превод, може да изпращате средства директно към Altcoins, чрез Revolut и Wise. И нашата услуга, с която най-много се гордеем, Altcoins.bg, която позволява на вашия физически и онлайн бизнес да приема криптоплащания с self-custody на плащанията, бързо и лесно. И тук на логото може да видите нашата последна интеграция Impact Bar, които преди 10 минути анонсираха нашето партньорство и те вече приемат криптоплащания в бара. За нашите VIP клиенти ние предлагаме пълен набор от услуги, от инвестиции, покупка на стоки, покупка на услуги, покупка на недвижими имоти, всичко, което искате да купите с крипто, ние можем да ви съдействаме и да го направите. И тук няма да споменем, но може да видите нашите партньори. Най-голямата партньорска мрежа в България, листът вече расте доста. И благодаря ви за вниманието.
Супер, много ти благодаря. Окей, значи това бяха апдейтите от спонсорите. Надявам се да е било интересно. Със сигурност доста интересни неща бяха споменати. Много ми хареса на BoneX апдейта във връзка с полетите. Това да си наемеш частен самолет ми звучи буквално сякаш сме в булмаркета. Да се надяваме да сме там, наистина. Така, почваме с апдейтите от моя страна. Знаете, всеки месец споделям едно полче във Facebook групата, където гласуват. Този месец нещо не гласуваха много хората, като делото SBF даже не е много интересно явно на голяма част от тях. Най-много им беше интересна ситуацията с Cointelegraph, затова започвам с нея. Какво се случи с оказалото се последствие неправилно обявление, че биткоин спот ETF-а на BlackRock е обявен. Cointelegraph публикуваха такъв твит, почнахме да го разпространяваме всички с идеята да бъдем първи и цената на биткоин просто излетя в небето. Мисля, че беше от 27 000 до 31 000 за около 10 минути. Но в последствие се оказа, че това не е реална новина и Cointelegraph са имали някакъв проблем с вътрешното, с процесите по публикуване на информация, но това не попречи да имаме 100 милиона ликвидации за 20 минути по всичките борси. Доста шортове изгоряха благодарение на тази новина. И след това Cointelegraph публикуваха цяла статия с скриншоти и информация за това какво точно е станало, как се е стигнало до тази ситуация и така нататък. Разбира се, цената коригира. Тя коригира първо нагоре, после надолу, върна се където беше. И започнаха, разбира се, да се говорят различни... да се обсъжда, че това някой може би е направил много пари от това движение и че най-вероятно е било манипулация и така нататък. Възможно е. Този скриншот беше доста използван, доста споделен, като в последствие пък се оказа, че Rollbit всъщност те мисля, деривативна борса са просто си направили малко маркетинг. Като обявяват един вид, споделя някакъв скриншот, който става ясно, става ясно, че Cointelegraph може би са направили колкото 2 милиона долара от това движение на биткоин, като последствие става ясно, че това не е така, но много добър маркетинг, щом и аз говоря за него днес, този скриншот обиколи целия Twitter. Но интересно е, че малко след това, на 24 октомври, само преди няколко дни, се получи отново подобно нещо, след като първоначално беше обявено, че IBTC тикъра на BlackRock, всъщност пак биткоин спот ETF-а, се е появил на Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation вебсайта. И това отново потикна цената страшно много нагоре, до 35 000 долара. Като последствие в края на деня, в същия ден, този тикър беше премахнат, но това не доведе до корекция надолу, което пък може би означава, че хората въпреки всичко смятат, че този ETF най-накрая ще се случи. Общото очакванията в момента са, че до края на януари следващата година той със сигурност ще бъде реалност. Като това, което виждаме в момента е един вид пазара се нагажда към новината и я абсорбира вече. Сега доколко може да стигнем, дали ще има корекция надолу, още не е ясно, но интересно е, че дори след тази новина цената не коригира и в момента сме пак на едни от най-високите стойности, които са виждани тази година. Втората новина е за FTX делото. То продължава да се случва. Мисля, че в Ню Йорк се случва. Не мога да вляза в детайли, тъй като те са вече 12 дни, всеки ден стават някакви невероятни неща. Той е като някакъв сапунен сериал. Става много сериозна сага, наистина. Интервюираха, то не интервю, ами всъщност някакви показания беше представила Керолин Елисън, която беше ко-CEO или CEO на Alameda, мисля. Говори се за някакви използването на идентификационни документи на тайландски проститутки, за да могат да се освободят някакви пари от някаква борса. Има подкупване на китайски държавни служители, висши служители. Въобще много сериозен филм. Тук става въпрос за нещо, което е било управлявано по абсурден начин. И интересното може би е, че става ясно, че FTX има много сериозни връзки с високопоставени политици, като Бил Клинтън, като като кметът на Ню Йорк, Ерик Адамс, и аз често казвам, просто предвиждам, че Netflix тази новина ще я изядат и чакам да, нали, Limited Series в Netflix да гледам, защото това ще бъде доста интересно. Но да, всъщност много различни издания следят какво се случва с FTX trial, но буквално информацията е страшно много, така че може да следите онлайн, много е интересно, просто прекалено много информация. Всъщност тази седмица мисля, че не се провеждаха, нали, не вървеше делото, някаква почивка имаше, но от утре пак започва, така че почваме пак с ексклузивните разкрития от утре по темата. Третата новина, която не беше включена, не беше гласувана от никой, но пък според мен е доста интересна, е с тази уязвимост, която беше намерена в Bitcoin Lightning протокола. И разбира се, пак целият интернет гръмна за нея. Всички почнаха да говорят как Lightning Network няма никакво бъдеще и така нататък. Но всъщност истината е, че това е някаква уязвимост, която е, нали, известна и е много трудно да се възползва някой от нея. Нали, теоретически е възможно някой да я използва, със сигурност не е фът, но е много трудно и поради факта, че много от възлите, защото тя реално афектира главно възлите в Lightning Network, така че вие ако сте просто потребител, няма как, нали, да бъдете афектирани и да си изпатите от това нещо. И има филтри и неща, които възлите правят, за да се предпазят от други потенциални такива уязвимости и във връзка с това тази също много трудно може да бъде, нали, някой да се възползва от нея. Със сигурност това не е краят на Lightning Network. Със сигурност ще продължат да се появяват проблеми. Това все пак е жив протокол, постоянно се правят апдейти. И в някакъв момент ще бъде решен и този проблем. Предполагам, че има проблеми, които са доста по-належащи, отколкото конкретно този, въпреки че беше така доста сериозно преекспониран миналата седмица. И сега минаваме към графиките. Виждаме тук едно посъбуждане малко от дясната страна на графиката. Изглежда така леко, че мечките може да са се поуморили малко, но все пак това, което виждаме през последните седмици, нали, няма някакъв кой знае колко сериозен фундамент, освен, нали, изчакването на спот ETF-а. Не виждаме някакво, примерно, увеличение в обемите или някакви нови институционални инвеститори, които да навлизат. По-скоро, както казах, пазара се нагажда спрямо тази новина, че, нали, публикуването и излизането вече на спот ETF-а. Интересното е, че достигаме до вече най-високите нива, които сме виждали на биткоин за тази година. Биткоин отново е един от най-добре представящи се активи през тази година. Вече е плюс 100% от началото, което си е доста сериозно постижение, но виждате обемите отдолу все още са доста ниски. Така че да видим колко време може да се запазим на това ниво. Със сигурност аз лично не очаквам кой знае какво движение нагоре преди, да кажем, края на следващата година. И в този смисъл има и новина от този Питър Бранд, който не съм сигурен точно кой е, обаче хора, които следвам, споделиха тази новина и коментираха по нея, реших да я споделя с вас последните минути. Той твърди, че нови all-time highs най-вероятно няма да бъдат видяни преди третата четвъртина на 2024 година. Това, разбира се, той самия го каза, че не може да види бъдещето, не може да е сигурен, че това ще се случи. Но, имайки преди, че следващата година, април месец, очакваме халвинг. Отделно от това, най-вероятно, според мен това покачване на лихвите, което се случва, не могат да го задържат прекалено дълго време. Още. Така че ако макрото се подобри, имаме биткоин халвинг, така почват да се нарежат нещата за началото на един бич пазар, но това са само такива груби очаквания. Това е цената на Ethereum. Ethereum се прави по-зле в момента. Биткоин му изглежда общо взето покачването. В момента целият фокус е върху биткоин спот ETF-а и обикновено, нали, има такива периоди, в които биткоин дърпа всичко друго, нали, дърпа най-много, всичко друго е назад и след това почва аут сезон. И така, стигаме до въпросът, който ще ви задам, за да си спечелите ето тази книга Стандартът биткоин. Имам само още 2 или 3 такива, така че няма още много въпроси да има. И въпросът е колко в момента са нереализираните загуби на американските банки поради това, че те съхраняват държавни ценни книжа, чиято стойност в момента главоломно намалява, просто поради факта, че биват издавани нови ценни книжа с доста по-голяма възвръщаемост. Не, по-малко е. Близо. Някой. Ами, никой не казва точно числото, но мисля, че това момче тук беше най-близо. 650 милиарда. 650 милиарда назад. И всъщност, ако тези държавните ценни книжа се държат до техния матуритет, нали, тези загуби няма да се осъществят. Но ако банките по някаква причина бъдат принудени да използват ликвидност, да трябва някаква ликвидност, те няма да имат достъп до такава ликвидност и ще трябва да ги реализират. И това е също една от причините, която анализаторите считат за важна във връзка с лихвите, с високите лихви, които Федералния резерв в момента поддържа. И да видим докъде ще стигне. Това са доста сериозни. Виждате, това е от 2008 година. Такова нещо никога не се е случвало. Като аз даже миналата седмица видях новини, че говорим за над $1 трилион нереализирани загуби. Не знам точно какво се е случило. Това е новина от последните часове. Reuters също я споделиха. Така че това е по-малко число, но това е някакво такова... това е което стига до медиите, да кажем. Числото е възможно да бъде доста по-високо. Завършвам, преди да започнем с Q&A сесията, с една книга на Лин Алдън, която мен много ми харесва. Аз се следя в Twitter или X. Това е новата книга Broken Money и в нея говори, въобще започва от какво са парите, банките как функционират, първоначално банките как са започнали да работят и вече стига до настоящето и бъдещето. Хубавото на тази книга е, че първо, че Лин Алдън пише изключително разбираемо и второ, че е нова, тъй като след 3-4 години или дори да кажем след 2 години вече няма да е толкова актуална. Поне, нали, една част от нея ще бъде актуална, но вече ще се случили толкова много неща, че най-вероятно ще трябва второ издание. Така че току-що е излязла. Аз я купих за Kindle, може би ще я купя и физически, ми струва около $20 и за сега звучи страшно интересно, така че силно ви я препоръчвам. Има я в Amazon, не знам, на български 100% я няма, но на английски е налична. И с това е време да погледнем към децентрализираните борси, които са базирани на Orderbook и да поканя Линда to the stage. So now I'm going to switch to English, and what we're going to do is we're going to do a Q&A session. I have a few questions prepared. Linda, please, this is your chair. Please welcome Linda. She's coming from Milan, especially for our event. I met Linda at ETH Warsaw, and I tested the DEX. It was very interesting. It was very responsive. So we discussed to have her come here and talk about it. Interestingly, this development with DeGate and going after an Orderbook DEX is actually like doing a little bit of a full circle, because decentralized exchanges initially started as trying to imitate order books on chain, on the Ethereum blockchain, but having in mind what the fees are on Ethereum, it was simply not feasible to continue developing them. They initially started with full order books, then partially some elements of the systems went off chain, and then we got to Uniswap, which is a completely different concept for decentralized exchanges, which was very suited for blockchains with high fees, and that's why Uniswap basically exploded, and it's still one of the most widely used decentralized exchanges. But now, thanks to L2s, thanks to ZK rollups, in particular, we are going back again to order book-based DEXs. And the primary reason, I guess, is because traders are very used to them. But Linda will say more. So Linda, please, this is your chair, and we can start with the questions. I will put there the DeGate exchange on the screen, so we can watch the Ethereum price dump in real time, and we will have to switch the microphone. So Linda, we can start with basically who are you, and how did you get into crypto? What is your story with crypto? Did you get into Ethereum first, or into Bitcoin, or how the journey started?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Thank you for your welcome, and thank you, Vlad, for a wonderful introduction of the history of exchanges on chain. Yes. I'm Linda, and I into crypto. I'm quite late to the party. I got into crypto in late 2020. Yes. And previously, I work in Web2 in the software, big e-commerce companies. And during the years, I encounter several situations, problems that I don't feel quite comfortable with. For example, I can feel the centralized power, a very powerful platform they can have, a very unfair system that distributes the profits in a very unbalanced way towards different parties in the ecosystem. You are the most powerful one, that you get the most, right? And the other parties just get impoverished along the way. And so, for example, these kind of problems, I try to find solution in the Web2 paradigm, but I just feel stuck. I couldn't find any possible solution for that. And actually, I have been contemplating Bitcoin for a few years before I make my first move. And in 2020, I think that there were already several protocols already running. So I did my research, read into that. And then I think that I could find possible solutions for those problems that I encountered in Web2, but on the blockchain. So I think that's a turning point why I was convinced of this sector. And then 2020, it was bull market in full swing. And so that's when I get into the rabbit hole.
Cool, yeah, 2021 was actually what we call DeFi summer. And what I can say is that currently we're definitely in the midst of winter in the DeFi space, but there are some signs of spring, but let's see. So I would like to understand, how did you find about DeGate, and why did you decide to join DeGate specifically? I guess that was a solution that you were looking for taking the power a little bit from centralized exchanges. But what is the vision of DeGate that really got you to join the team?
Yeah, I joined the team. I think it's a match of chemistry. So I think we are quite aligned in terms of value. So DeGate, it is this, no? So you can see it's an Orderbook decentralized exchange. So very simple. The job of DeGate is to let you trade easy, and sleep easy. So trade easy is, yeah, like you can trade like on a centralized exchange, very easy, very fast. You place order, cancel order, do some automatic trading strategy or your manual strategy with low fee, and this is very important. So trade easy. Actually, our user interface quite replicate the centralized one, so users are very familiar. I think people tend to like the things they are familiar with. And sleep easy is an interesting concept, I think. Yeah, I don't know what keeps you awake at night. So actually, I think in DeFi, security is not by default. Like we assume that security is by default, but in fact, it is not. So sleep easy because DeGate is trustless in a trustless decentralized exchange, so that you can feel secure when you put your money inside DeGate to trade. Because it's all governed by the smart contracts, there is no human factors involved, so it minimizes the possibility to do malicious behaviors to a maximum level. So sleep easy, trustless, permissionless, and sleep easy. So I think it pretty explains why, because I want to build a system that it's more fair, that it's open and inclusive. And so, yeah, DeGate, it represents this value.
Great, thank you. And I remember when we met each other at ETH Warsaw, you were going around with your laptop, and you kind of asked me to play around with the exchange, to test it out a little bit, and to provide you some feedback, which actually made an impression, because this is the way you really get like valuable feedback when done properly. So I guess your role within DeGate is something between sales and marketing, but yeah, I would really like to learn what do you do in DeGate specifically.
Yes, so I am evangelist of DeGate protocol, and my focus is in marketing and partnership. Yeah, and then you see why I'm bringing my laptop, going in the conference, asking people to get user feedback. So right now, the DEX you're seeing now is in mainnet beta. It's in mainnet, it's up and running, but we are in the beta phase. So in this phase, we are trying to find our product market fit. And we think that the product's quality, and if people like it or not, and people's feedback is really, really important. Because I think regardless of what marketing or partnership you do, at the end of the day, the product speaks for itself. It's the most essential part of a success of a protocol. So we value very much the honest feedback from the real users. So that's why I did a lot of user interviews this year. Yeah.
Great. So the other thing is, maybe we can go a little bit into the tech, because this is, as I know, like based on a ZK rollup, so it's a L2. So this is a representation of this idea of an upchain, as far as I understand. But then you can also connect to the Ethereum mainnet with your MetaMask wallet or another wallet. So then when your balance is on Ethereum, how does it work? How does it find its way to your exchange, to the ZK rollup, and then how do you then get it back into your wallet, into your like Ethereum wallet?
Yeah, so DeGate is built with the on-chain parts and the off-chain parts. So the on-chain smart contracts, and then there is the off-chain part which stays on the zero-knowledge rollup. And it is, the zero-knowledge rollup by itself is a layer 2. So when you transfer money from your layer 1 wallet to DeGate, actually you can think it like a bridge transaction, like you move funds from your Ethereum wallet to Arbitrum or to ZK Sync. Yeah, it is very similar. Yes, we have an improvement in this step, is that we enable standard deposit, that's how we call. So the standard deposit enables users to move funds from their layer 1 wallet to DeGate layer 2 as a simple transfer transaction. Yeah, so it does not involve calling the smart contract. So by doing this transaction, users do not need to give token approval. So when you use Uniswap, for example, or when you use other DeFi protocols, you first need to give token approval to spend your USDC, for example. That's quite usual. And actually, this transaction inherits some tail risk, because once you give your approval, and even if your transaction is finished, maybe the smart contract gets maliciously upgraded, modified, or get hacked, then it will impact the token in your wallet that you have given the approval, right? So, well, from the people that I interview, there are quite a lot of them that they are, I would call, security paranoid. So these people, once they give token approval, and after the transaction, they revoke it every time. So it costs a lot of gas. They do it because they don't feel secure when they do the token approval. And because in DeGate, again, we think that security is the first priority for the users, so we have thought about it inside out. So even in the, let's say, the deposit funds from layer 1 to layer 2, we enable such function that you don't need to give any token approval.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And you mentioned the trustlessness of the application. So I see that as a major feature and also a selling point for the exchange. So why do you think, what would be the expression of this trustlessness? So for example, if I'm a user, I use the exchange, like let's say I deposit 1 ETH and I start trading. I believe you have limit orders in the DEX. So I have like a limit order in there for 0.2 ETH, let's say, but then something happens with the team of the exchange. So what happens with the order? Does it, like, can I get my 0.2 ETH back? Or like, I kind of pointing you in the direction to talk about a little bit about the trustlessness of DeGate.
Yeah, so the trustless in DeGate means first is that users take fully self-custody over their funds in DeGate. Fully self-custody means that nobody can touch your funds, like not the protocol, not the team, nor anyone. And yes, and then so you can make sure that you can withdraw your funds whenever you want. So yeah, I think that it's quite important to understand the concept of layer 2. So what layer 2 means, actually it's like you play in a casino. Now you enter the casino, you give your real money at the desk and exchange for some chips. And then you go into the casino to play with the chips, which represents your real money's balance, right? You play around, and then when you get out, you need to make sure that the chips in your hands can really be exchanged back to real money. And that's the relationship of layer 1 and layer 2, one of the important relationships I think every user should understand. And so on DeGate, I think the protocol is trustless, like to ensure the maximum level of trustless, is that to ensure that users can be sure their funds cannot be manipulated by any party, and the balance of their account is correct. They reflect the correct balance of change, and this is important. Because we have the on-chain smart contract and the off-chain components. It's called a circle program. So these two components, they are correspond in a one-to-one binary relationship. So even if one component, one small thing inside this got broken, then the protocol cannot proceed. Then the transaction won't go through. So at the end, the correctness of the transaction off-chain and the security is guaranteed by Ethereum layer 1. So yeah, and so that's why I think L2B has reviewed DeGate as the most self-custom layer 2 hero ever launched. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's interesting, and that was actually something that spiked the interest in DeGate on my side, and that's why I actually invited you, because it kind of sounds like a very unique technology and a trend that is only now getting started, thanks to L2s. But the other thing is that I wanted to ask you was about the DG token, not from an investment point of view, obviously, but what is the role of the token when it comes to the ZK? Do users need to stake it in order to provide security to this L2, or what is the relation between the token and the product itself?
Yeah, the digital token currently has the role of as a governance token currently, and the team evaluating to create some utilities of the token in the future, maybe when the product is more mature, and I think it's in the plan. But currently, it is a governance token. Anyone can have it.
All right, and then a little bit about the DAO, I guess, because this trustlessness is kind of related to the to basically who has access. You mentioned that the team does not have access to user funds, and very interestingly, when I was looking at the DAO, I found this document, like this Google Sheet, where every spend done by the DAO is included, so you can see a whole list of transactions, what was spent, when, for what, which is a very unique approach, I would say. I haven't seen this anywhere else, and there is also like an explanation what was the money used for, and so on. So I like this level of transparency, but yeah, like how do you take decisions currently about like the direction of the product, let's say, or what is the role of the DAO? I know it's a beta, it's a better exchange, better product, but yeah, how do you like, what is the current state, and how do you plan to expand the DAO in the future?
Yeah, there is a Google Doc that tracks the spending of the DAO's treasury, so it's so very transparent, and you can track all the wallet addresses, the home DAO addresses, I think, yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah. Yes, so I mean, so currently there is not many, let's say, governance activity going on because we are still very early, we are still in beta. But of course, the DAO's plan is to continuously expanding the governance network within the community. So actually, it's very simple. Like anyone who holds digital token is part of the DAO. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Usually, when a product like a DeFi product starts, the DAO needs some time to kind of start. Apart from that, I mentioned that DeFi is currently it's performing okay, but there's a lot of outflow. Like there's much outflow of liquidity, like liquidity leaving DeFi applications. We see currently that Aave and Compound and the large money markets are kind of suffering of low, like from low liquidity. We see the borrowing and lending rates all around the place going up and down because yeah, someone borrows or someone deposits liquidity, and since there is very few, like not that much liquidity in the pool, the rate goes up and down. So what do you think would be this catalyst that would bootstrap the next phase of DeFi development, or what would take DeFi to like to the bull market in a way? Like what technology or what kind of products do you think make the most sense?
Yeah, I think connected to your observation of the APY in the Aave, in the money market lending protocols, you know, So I think why the liquidity is going out is that when you can compare the yields in DeFi and in traditional finance. If in traditional finance, for example, if you put your money in treasury bills, you can get 5%. And on average, it's like fluctuate between 2% or something, I'm not sure. So if it's lower than 5%, then people make an easy choice, right? And so I think that one thing it's very interesting that it's coming up right now is a new type of stable coin that it's tokenized treasury bills. So currently the biggest stable coin is USDC, USDT. And actually Tether and Circle are the richest company in crypto. But what they do is that they get 100% of the yields. Because they invest USD in the treasury bills, they get 100% of the yields. As a user, you get nothing. And now there are some new stable coins it's called a tokenized treasury bills. So these stable coins, compared to Circle or Tether, they distribute those 5% to users. So, for example, you hold this stable coin and automatically you get 5%. And I think a new protocol is, a new stablecoin is USDN. It's a very new one. It recently went on Bankless. We noticed it. I think it's a promising stablecoin. And I think it will change. It changed a bit the game in the stablecoin landscape. And so actually it's a rebasing token. So if you hold USDM in your wallet, you will see increase in amount every day. So, I mean, rather than holding USDC that never change, you may think about, I can hold something else. And if this token can be used in DeFi as well, you can use it to trade, you can use it to, I don't know, as a collateral, some use case, then it becomes more interesting. Yeah, so I think this just one news that I get particularly interested about recently.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a very, very interesting use case, and we see that trend, currently the trend of real-world assets entering DeFi. The only problem that I see with the tokenization of this type of real-world assets is that there is, I mean, in the case of USDC as well, you need to trust a centralized entity to store these assets. But I kind of feel that in order for DeFi to kind of progress, we will have to make these, what is it? To kind of live with the fact that certain parts of DeFi will have to be centralized. And we already do that by having in mind that USDC, USDT, all are being heavily used in DeFi. But treasury bills are now entering the space due to the higher yield, and having in mind that treasury bills are considered to be the safest financial instruments, basically providing the risk-free yield in traditional finance. It would be great to have DeFi users making use of that yield while it's that high. And then when DeFi yields actually become higher, they can switch to that. But I see this back and forward between traditional world assets and DeFi assets playing in the future, playing out in the future. And if we use these as collateral to borrow, to get other assets, you'll be able to, at some point, I guess, get the real world yield and then liquidity mine additional tokens, so get additional yield on top of that in DeFi. So a very good point. I think real world assets is definitely one of the major trends, like moving the space currently, especially the tokenization of treasury bills. Cool. So apart from that, I think we went through most of the questions. But yeah, a little bit, I guess, maybe about DeGate. So what do you think are the main competitors? And I guess the primary question, having in mind that the lifeblood of every DeFi application is liquidity, how do you, like, what are your approaches to attracting liquidity to DeGate? Like, what would be your, like, what would be in your toolkit to attract liquidity to the platform once it launches?
Yeah, so it's already launched. So first thing, yeah, not in beta, okay. And I think my competitor is the centralized exchange and Uniswap, I would put this way. Because from my, like, almost 100 user interview that we did, we see that type of our target users are people who are frequently trading on Binance, on OKX. They get very familiar with centralized exchange. They are more experienced traders. Yeah, they know such things, how to make a trading strategy. But they have concern about the centralized exchange for the bank run, etc. So for the things they've seen, they have some concerns. So they want to find an alternative, more safer place to trade, where they can trade, like they trade like on Binance, for example. So these type of users are our they like DeGate, so I would say they are our target users. So one competitor, I would say, is the centralized exchange. Uniswap, I think Uniswap did another job, or does another job. So from my interview, I got a big part, several users, they say that I use Uniswap to hunt the new coins, the meme coins, the hottest coins at the moment, and those coins are not listed in any centralized exchange yet. So I have to use Uniswap. It's not that I want to use it, I have to use it. I have to pay for high gas fee. I have to follow the price. Because I cannot make a limit order, so I should be there looking at my laptop and to find my entry point, etc., or when to buy, when to sell. And these users, they say that like they look for those kind of coins on DeGate. So they say that if you can have such type of tokens, the long tail, the new meme tokens, then I would be happily trade on DeGate. Yeah, so these are the two observations that I made.
Yeah, that makes sense. Usually now, when a new DeFi project launches, they're always on Uniswap. So I get like having exclusive token launches is definitely one of the approaches. So then, when do we expect the V1 to launch, the alpha of DeGate? Like, what are the expectations, and what's actually stopping you from launching it now?
Hopefully launch by 2024. I don't have an exact timeline, but hopefully within this year. Yeah, really hope. So now we are stress testing the protocol for the safety, for the security again and again. And my user interviews, user feedback is to help DeGate to find the product market fit. So identify the type of people that they genuinely want to use such kind of exchange. Yes. So yeah, I also welcome the participants tonight. If you are interested in the DEX, then we can connect. In our networking later. So yes, we can connect.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure Linda would be super happy to have a few more of you providing feedback on the exchange, and I guess you might get a little bonus to play around with the exchange to see how it works. I definitely advise you to do it because it's a very similar experience to a centralized exchange. It's like I would say the most, like it's the closest to a centralized exchange that I have actually experienced. I mean, I'm not a trader. I don't do that many trades. I don't use exchanges that much, but based on my experience, it's quite close. So it's interesting to test it out. And I think now it's time to kind of open the floor to questions. Unless, Linda, you want to mention something specific before we do that? Like something that we didn't mention already, something that you want to point?
Yeah, maybe just one. Yeah, I think that I should also to highlight this point. It's that we have the most say, security measures for users' funds. So even when a very extreme situation that happen, like the operators of layer 2 go down, so no one is there to process the transactions, on DeGate, users can still withdraw the funds by themselves, so autonomously, by activating we call it Exodus mode. So Exodus mode, once activated, the protocol will just all of the users can withdraw their funds back. So all of the funds that's still remaining in the protocol. So this is a feature that is very important in the evaluation of L2B. Yeah, I think it's the determined factor that they reveal us the most, the fully self-custody protocol layer 2.
Yeah, this really sounds to be in the spirit of DeFi, to be an actual decentralized financial application, or at least you are striving for one. So I'm always happy to see these applications. It's very hard to build them, but I think there is a future for them. So now I'm opening the floor to questions. So if you have any questions in relation to the exchange, future of DeFi, the price of Bitcoin, and so on, please, please share them. So I guess this is the question is about the journey of crypto assets from Ethereum to DeGate, and I guess also includes and the fees of the trading fees. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very good question. Yeah, I didn't mention about the fees in particular. So the fees, I will use in the unit of gas. So for deposit from layer 1 to DeGate layer 2, it costs, I remember, 800 gas. So in the ETH price of today, it's less than $1, I think. $1, let's say, or even a bit less. And trading on DeGate, makers pay no fees. So if you place limit order, you pay no fee. There is no trading fee, there is no gas fee to pay. And the trading fee for the taker is 0.05%. So I think it's the lowest level among the centralized exchange. Yeah, we have a protocol fees page. Like apart from the trading fee, there's a percentage. For the other transactions, we have a benchmark of how many gas. So, and the gas will decides the actual price. That it depends on Ethereum's price and that you are going to pay.
But the gas is important when you are only transferring, like depositing funds in DeGate, but once they're in, it doesn't really matter, right? So it's only a matter of basically using the bridge from Ethereum to the L2, to the rollup. That's when gas fees matter.
There are several transactions that involve gas fee from the user perspective. So in fact, every transaction that happen on DeGate layer 2 will incur a gas fee because all of those transactions need to submit into layer 1. And this process involves gas fee. But we batch all of those transactions together, so the gas fee for each transaction in the batch is lower because it's divided. And so the takers need to pay some gas fee. Yeah, but it's very low. I remember that when you make a market order, it could cost like 3 cents. In this market. So you can try. You can try. It's very low. But in fact, all of the transactions on layer 2 eventually, they of course need a gas fee because we need to submit all the transactions back to layer 1.
All right. So you batch the transactions. But I guess this list of transactions on the L2 doesn't get sent to the L1 which each transaction. It's like the batching takes a couple of blocks, I guess. How does that work?
I'm not very into the technical detail, so to be honest. So I know that, there is certain frequency that there is this ROA contract that will batch the layer 2 data back to layer 1. And however, whenever there is a withdraw transaction initiated by user, the maximum waiting time is 10 minutes. But I tried several times, it's usually like less than 5 minutes. Because withdraw is a very important transaction, is that users, they withdraw their funds back to their layer 1 wallet. So whenever there is withdraw, this transaction, it's less than maximum, the waiting time is 10 minutes.
Yeah, so, and I guess this withdraw transaction also kind of like, you're using the user's withdraw transaction to move this batch of transactions back to the L1. I guess with some limits, because if the batch of transactions is very large, the user will have to pay a larger withdrawal fee to the L1. Cool. Any other questions related to DeGate? Yes, please.
Right, so I would like to ask you about the different rollups, right? We're seeing OP with the OP stack, we're seeing Arbitrum, we're seeing ZK Sync, and if I understand correctly, you're not building on ZK Sync, you're building your own. How do you see all these different roll-up technologies coming together? Do you see yourself competing with the others? How's the bridging between the different roll-ups? I mean, one negative point I think that's being discussed a lot is that you're segmenting liquidity, right? You're taking trading volume off the L1, off the other L2s onto your own. How do you see the different roll-ups connecting and your own solution in that context?
Yeah, so actually DeGate is an app chain, so application-specific rollup. It's not a general-purpose layer 2 like Optimism, like ZK Sync. So they are the general-purpose layer 2 where it's a public chain, it's an infrastructure that supports smart contracts, but DeGate is not. So actually you can think about DeGate as a final product, it's a DEX. It's a DEX, just that we are here to explain what is the technology architecture behind it. So in fact, it's a layer 2, but it's an application-specific layer 2. So yeah, I think that we are not in the same space as the general purpose layer 2. Like we do different things. Our job is to let people trade easy, sleep easy. Yeah, while other layer 2s, they have an ecosystem to build. So yeah, I think it's quite different.
And about the fragmentation, I guess there isn't that much fragmentation. The fragmentation in the case of DeGate only relates to the amount of assets that are on DeGate and are not on L1. But it's gonna be only related to the DEX application. So it's not like an ecosystem is stealing all of the assets. It's just like one app that is kind of welcoming or have the assets deposited in there. Interestingly, I know DEX, which is a derivative platform, they're also going in the way of becoming an app chain. But there's also a dynamic there for the stakers. That's why I asked for the DJ token, DG token. Because in the case of DEX, they have this system where when you are staking, you are providing security to the application, to the derivatives exchange. You're getting rewarded by more tokens, but also by fees that are being generated by the platform. So do you think of introducing a system like that, or is it possible even to do that with your own rollup?
I think the team is evaluating every options regarding the token. Yes, there will be some use case and utility of the token itself. Yeah, but right now it's a governance token.
No, because this staking is really nice. It's a really nice approach. I like it a lot. I think it makes a lot of sense. I don't think DYDX have launched this yet. Not sure. I haven't really used DYDX recently, but yeah, let's see. So, more questions, or should we start with the informal part of the networking? Anything else? I guess, okay. Well, Linda is here. I'll also be here, so we can discuss whatever you guys feel like discussing. With that, I can close this session. Thank you so much for the questions. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. And a round of applause for Linda, who was, as I said, super kind to come from Milano and to talk to you guys. So thank you. As I mentioned, next month we have the final Sofia Crypto Meetup event for the year, and we will be discussing the project that NEXO sponsored, and we'll have the co-founder here. So again, thank you guys. Grab a bite. There are a few bites here left. Maybe there is more drinks available, and let's chat. Thank you.